Very good evening to all of you. Very warm welcome to the online internship in full stack web development. We are kicking off the first cohort or first internship batch as a part of WebStack Academy or WSA, what we call in short term. Today is the 17th of August 2023. It's really a proud moment for all of us from WSA because this anything that is first always we cherish. So that way we are very happy to launch, even though we've been doing internship in some different formats, which I will talk as we move forward. Launching this in an online format like this, it's always a great pleasure. It's a really a great moment for all of us in team WSA. So my name is Jai Kumar. I will be taking you through this particular induction session where we will cover a lot of aspects. First, we'll start with an introduction about WSA. I'll talk about our long history. And followed by that, since it's a full stack web development, I thought, before getting into the internship details, we will cover, some aspects of web development as such, right? If you look at the web applications, right, they've gone through a lot of, changes over the years, right? So we will take a historical journey into how over the years the web application development has evolved and why all of a sudden we started saying full stack web developer, right? If you look at 5 years back, the term of full stack web developer did not even exist, right? So suddenly it has become super hot and everybody talks about full stack web developer. Does it mean that before the full stack web development, the word was there, the web development was not happening? No, that's not the case, right? So we'll take a little bit of technical details about how the web applications evolved over time, so that we will be able to understand and appreciate why today the full stack web developers are becoming so popular, or the role of full stack web developer is becoming more important in any organization you can think of, right? Whether it's a 5 people organization, 50 people organization, 500 people company, 5,000 people company, everybody has a website, at least, if not a very big web application, right? So definitely they are looking forward to hire full stack web developers. We need to understand why, right? So that will be the second part. Third part, we'll talk about the internship modalities. So let me summarize. First, we'll talk about introduction. Second one, we'll talk about the the web development historical view, little bit of technical details I will mention. Third one, we'll talk about the internship, right? So anytime, any point in time you have any questions, feel free to type it in that chat window. I'll try to pass by and take, this is a webinar. You will not be able to see each other's questions. All your questions and chats and comments are reaching me. I try to answer as many questions as possible. If not, I'll also let you know how you can get in touch with us and ensure that all your questions getting answered. Okay. So with that, now let us get started. As I mentioned, the first point is about the introduction. So let us see what the introduction to WSA, introduction about me and our team. Okay. So let me briefly introduce what we are about. Right. We are an edtech company based out of Bangalore in India. And we go back, quite back in terms of our existence. We started in the year 2004. We have been in the education segment for almost like 18-19 years, right? So our original idea started, way back in 2004, and we started this organization called Emertxe, right? Some of you already know about us because Emertxe is you can consider as a parent organization. And WSA is you can consider as an offshoot or a child organization from Emertxe. But pretty much the team and the even though two brands are there, pretty much we work as the same team. The reason why we kept Emertxe and WSA differently because the brand name Emertxe, we want to represent more the training programs which you do closer to the hardware. For example, whatever we do in the area of embedded systems and IoT, and whatever the low-level device drivers, microcontrollers, anything that is related to basically, we call it as we want to do it as an Emertxe, right? And anything on the application side, anything in the website, mobile application side, and going forward, we are aspiring to launch courses in areas like machine learning, artificial intelligence, DevOps, etc. So we would like to do it under the brand name of WSA or WebStack Academy, right? So, but pretty much we are the same team, but for you guys, right, it may look different, but we are the same team, right? Some of us work in both areas. For example, yesterday we kickstarted the embedded internship. I was there. I don't know, some of the students got both the internships. I don't know how many of you how you are going to manage. Anybody here who got both the internships, embedded as well as MERN stack. I'm already seeing Lokesh is telling excited my second internship in Emertxe after IoT internship. Great. Okay, I'm seeing many of you getting 2 internships. Okay, I don't know how you're going to manage your times because it's going to be the 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right? You need to do 2 projects, right? Anyways, it's up to you. We are not going to stop you, right? But ensure that whatever you take up, right, you do justice to it, right? But pretty much, and we are the same organization, no need to get confused, right? So this is how we started. And what happened, like around 2006, we became more specialized in the area of embedded systems, right? We are known for embedded systems. People who attended the yesterday's induction class know that, and also later we introduced IoT based training programs and things like that, right? So that was our aspect of embedded systems, how we started. Then subsequently, always the aspirations was there to basically to diversify our training into different technologies, right? So that way, this application-based technologies is not new. We launched way back in 2009 itself. If you look at 2009, is when we partnered with some of the universities. Primarily, we started working with a university which is based in South Korea, where the students from South Korea used to come to in Emertxe, Bangalore. They stay with us for almost like 11 months. So they said, along with embedded, they also wanted to take an application training. So those days, as I mentioned, right, the full stack developer concept was not there. We used to offer them Java based training program, Java, J2EE, and some aspects of HTML, CSS. That's all, right? So if you look at those days, the web development were in pieces. I'll talk about it in my subsequent slides. So that is how we started. Then after we started delivering with them, there was a mechanism called that time, if you remember the history of Java, people who studied Java will remember, right? It was invented by a company called Sun Microsystems, right? Unfortunately, Sun Microsystems got shut down, right? Sun Microsystems introduced something called Sun Certified Java Developer or Java Programmer. We used to call it SJCP or something like that. So later, Java was actually adopted by Oracle. And Oracle introduced something called Oracle WDP, Workforce Development Program, and they introduced the concept of certification, right? So we became, please note, we are doing everything under the brand name of Emertxe. We are already doing embedded, but we are also doing this, right? So we are doing these trainings in the Oracle Workforce Development Program for Java and Android. We are delivering some university-based short-term training programs, and some of the South Korean students who want to get certified, because certification plays a very important role in application space, right? Especially if you're a Oracle certified web developer and all. But I don't know, nowadays it's not very popular. Those days it used to be very popular, having a Sun certified Java programmer or Oracle certified web application developer. We should call it as a OCJP, OCWCD, etc., etc. So that's how we evolved our application trainings into Oracle, right? Then we thought, as I already mentioned, having doing both the system level trainings and the application level trainings under the same umbrella is not good. And moreover, the word Emertxe is already getting too hard to pronounce. One of the mistakes that we realized later, right? People want something that can pronounce it easily. So that's when we thought, we should make it as a 2 different brands, even though it's under the same leadership team, for our internal sake. But for the external world, it looked like 2 different brand names. So that's when we coined this name called WebStack Academy. Hope that's easy to pronounce, right? People who have been associated with Emertxe, right? It's hard to pronounce, right? At least people will remember WSA, right? That's how we started, and we've been working in the space, and we formally launched WSA. You can see that the logo and everything, the website, everything came up in the year 2017, right? So 2017, when we launched, that's when the term of full stack developer became very popular. If you say, right, if you look at 2010, 9-10 timeline, the concept of full stack web developer was not there. It was more of Oracle certified web developer, right? Oracle certified Java developer, like that, right? So then there came a concept of full stack, right? So when we launched the WSA in 2017 itself, we launched it as a full stack web development institute, by offering a program on MERN stack, right? I'll talk about that in subsequent slides. Then we did quite good. I think 2018-19 we did. We used to train students in the same facility of Emertxe in MG Road in Bangalore. But pandemic hit, that kind of put us in a different orbit altogether, right? Then it went into a little bit of different paths. So we kind of paused our WSA trainings for a while, right? And then now we are restarting WSA. So what's WSA's identity and plan for today, right? One, WSA is going to be a completely online school, right, or online platform. It's there won't be any physical thing that is happening like we do it for Emertxe. It will be a completely an online platform. One. Second thing, what we did was from the mean stack which you're offering, we changed to MERN stack, right? I'll talk about it in my subsequent slides. So those two are the changes. So then we thought, before we launch our MERN stack courses officially, which we'll be doing shortly, which will be a 6 months online program, even more than 6 months online program, targeting for product companies, right? Targeting for example, companies which are doing product development activities like Lenovo, Rakuten, IBM, right? These are some of the clients they used to hire from us, and we do have aspirations that we want to have companies like, for example, Swiggy, Zomato, Uber, Ola type of companies come and hire these WSA students, right? Because the full stack web development is something really sought after by organizations. I'll also talk about, right? So that's when we thought we will basically start the WSA in this particular format, right? That way it's quite exciting for me to launch the WSA in a different avatar today as a purely an online online school or online a tech, and we are starting this particular internship as a first. So going forward, we'll also be launching the courses, the MERN stack courses. It will be more like a 8-9 months course, which will probably send out a note to you guys as well, so that in case any of you or your friends are interested, they can come, right? That will be a placement oriented program, by the way, right? So this is our history. So net what I wanted to tell is, like, if you look for WSA in Google, WSA in LinkedIn, or WSA in Instagram, right? You may not see much of a footprint, right? Because last 2-3 years we've been little dormant. Now we are coming back, and by the way, 3-4 years back, even Instagram was very dormant. It was more of a Facebook then, right? So we are, gaining our momentum, and this internship is a great opportunity for us to, start getting into that traction. So this is a history. We have a long history of training or education programs, and the application related trainings is nothing new for us. We've been doing for more than 10 years now, right? That's about our history, okay, what we do. And in terms of our what is our goal as an organization? One, we want to solve the problem of employability. As you know, in India we have a lot of graduates are coming out of engineering, so who do not have the skills to get into jobs. And we say jobs, we want to target for WSA, we want to target jobs which are relatively high end. It's a little funny because when you talk about the web development role, right? We have we can study as much as a 1-month course and you get into a job, and you can even do a 1-year course and you get into a job, right? So we really wanted to target high-end jobs here, mainly focusing on product development, software product development type of companies, right? So that's our goal, to make the engineers employable. Then the second thing, what happens is we also want to target working professionals who are basically got a job but they're not happy with the job, or they're doing the web development but they're working on an old stack. For example, web development has a long history. For example, still many websites or web applications are getting developed in legacy technology like PHP, .NET, etc., right? So what if they want to transition themselves to the modern day MERN stack, right? So you wanted to upskill themselves and then reposition them as a full stack or a MERN stack developers. That's our second goal. And third goal is, of course, the corporate organizations, right, where we want to go and train them, right? We have done good number of corporate trainings, right? We want to do it in the online mode as well, right? So this is the target segment and the challenges that we are trying to tackle. So in terms of our leadership team, pretty much remain the same as Emertxe. Some of you know who've gone through the Emertxe slides yesterday. Mr. Maz is the one who started Emertxe way back in 2004. Then subsequently, he we kind of spun up the WSA or created a new brand. And I'm Jaykumar, as I already said. I have more than 20 years of work experience. Initial 12.5 years I spent with 3 corporate organizations. Before that, I graduated from NIT Warangal. It was called the Regional Engineering College then. It was part of Andhra Pradesh. Now it's part of Telangana, right? So I graduated there in computer science. So during the 2001, it was more fair to get into the application, into the system side. So my larger amount of my background is from the embedded system side. But off late, when during my initially started with a startup called Ishoni Networks. Then I moved on to HP, Hewlett Packard. And then I worked with Huawei for 3.5 years. Right? Overall, 12.5 years I worked with 3 different organizations. So during my tenure with HP, right, we are building some connectivity solutions, right? That's when I got idea about the application side. For example, cloud computing, right, REST APIs, and then how to make this particular device talk to the cloud, etc., etc. So that kind of gave me a flair of, what application programming is all about. And in fact, during the initial days of WSA, I used to take classes. I used to teach JavaScript and Angular topics, right? And along with me, we have the third leadership team member, Mr. Mubin. Mubin is a technology head who heads a team of trainers. Overall, put together Emertxe and WebStack Academy, we are about 130, 140 member organization. Around that, if you see, around 70, 80 people are into, mentoring side. We continue to add more people in the mentoring side, which is headed by Mubin. But earlier, as I said, Mubin was our technology head, and me and Mubin used to go and train students, right? And then later we kind of moved on to different roles. So Mubin still continued to head the team of trainers. Then I moved on to placements, and also I'm responsible for all these outbound programs, be it internships, campus ambassador programs, right, webinars, induction classes, right. So I like talking, so I end up doing all these outbound programs, right. So that's our leadership team, coming with a lot of experience. And Mubin and me were colleagues. Mubin also having kind of similar type of experience. We're colleagues in HP. And it's pretty much still a hands-on technologist, I would say, right? So tomorrow's class, I'll announce anyways once again towards the end. So tomorrow's class will be taken by Mubin, right? He'll be talking about the software development lifecycle and the requirement of the project that you're going to implement as a part of this particular, internship, right? So that's about us, a brief, how we come from and our leadership team, okay? So in terms of internship, as I said, we have been doing with in the name of brand name of Emertxe, we could reach around 2,500 colleges, 70 plus countries, 20,000 plus interns, right? At least our interns end up writing 1,000 lines of code as a part of internship, right? So this data we have it for Emertxe, both embedded and IoT internship over the last 8 cohorts, what we have done as a part of our Emertxe brand. So now what we thought, anyways, we have such a strong reach in various colleges and also into various countries. So why don't we extend into WSA also? I see some of you already telling, right, I've done IoT internship also. Now I'm happy to do the MERN stack internship also, right? So that way it's really great. So we already have a very strong strength, because one point which I wanted to upfront put it across is that whenever we say something free, right, especially in India, free comes with a different meaning, right? Whenever I say free, generally people will have something in mind saying that, hey, something that's hidden out there, right? There'll be some hidden agenda, right? One could be that, right? Second thing we always associated when I say free is that free means it's not of good quality, right? Do you agree with me, guys? Can I get some responses? When I say free, two things come into picture, right? Something, why they should give it for free? There should be something hidden for them, right? Or is a free means acha nahi rahega, right? It won't be good, right? So please note, both are not the case with us, right? There is absolutely, this program would be free. You don't need to pay a penny for this, right? Why we do it for the free, I'll come in subsequent slides, right? Second part we also want to say is that this particular internship, right from today, it's going to be a live session. Please note, guys, it is not a it's not a recorded one, because if you talk about MERN stack, right, you will get tons of internships. Most of them are recorded. And what happens in a recorded session? What is the biggest challenge for a recorded? When you look into the recorded classes, can I get some responses? Suppose another company comes and tells, yeah, Vaishnavi is telling, I attended the IoT internship, I know it's helpful for us. Yeah, that's great, right? But let us see, if you're looking into the recorded ones, right? Doubts aren't cleared, says Sayan Basu, right? We can't be able to ask any questions. We don't get that feel in recorded session, right? We can skip the recorded session easily. Procrastination, right? So that's a great points that you guys are bringing in, right? Anyway, see, somebody asked this question already. All the sessions which you're doing live will get recorded. It's already getting recorded, and it will basically, you will also get access to it. We'll put this video into something called LMS, Learning Management System, right? You can revise it, not a problem. But when you say live has got its own advantages. You're already telling a lot of answers. It brings interactivity, right? You will not postpone. For example, if you need to basically, play and pause, right? You'll say kal karunga, parson karunga, right? I'll do tomorrow, day after, right? You just kind of, then after 1 week you lose the motivation. Okay. So when it is live, when we say, every day you have basically 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. you need to attend the class, right? You need to attend this internship session, right? Then you are like, oh, I need to attend, right? So there is an element of discipline that comes into picture when you talk about a live class. And live class, as you all know, this is like, live interaction that is happening, right? I don't come with any script. It's pretty much a free flowing talk. And that way you get a lot of, interactivity, not only with me. Shortly, I'll also tell how you guys can connect with each other. One of the other problem of looking into the recorded video is that you don't connect to the fellow learners, right? The peer-to-peer learning is not happening, right? So that way, yeah. Another point that Sai Nanandi is telling, very important point. Recorded classes are outdated, and most of the package they're using doesn't work with the present updated version. Fantastic. This is a problem that we have it with the application training. For example, when you do an embedded system training, the upgrade doesn't happen, fast. For example, when you say, C programming, right? The compiler doesn't change, right? Or when you say Linux, right? The Linux kernel doesn't go through any major changes. But whereas when you're working on a React, when you're working on a Bootstrap, or when you're working on a Node, right? The versions keep changing, right? And what works in version number X will not work in version number Y. Long time back, I used to have this problem. I used to, when I was teaching Angular, right? Angular was in 7, if I'm not wrong. I used to type every code, and in 7 it used to work, right? I bring my laptop and I show it to my students. Hey guys, look at this, right? And these guys will install, and then they say, sir, it's not working, right? So when you go back and check, we say, right, automatically they would have downloaded Angular 8, right? Where some of the APIs which I'm demonstrating in the class, it would have got deprecated, right? The support they would have been changed to some different API, etc., right? So that way also it becomes very important that we do it in a live classes. And my request to all of you is that please take the maximum benefit of this, right? Live sessions are really, really great. Okay, in fact, it happens to me also. I also sign up for some courses, but because of laziness, we don't do, right? People said procrastination, postponing, no motivation, peer-to-peer learning, right? So this internship, we wanted to make it really, really valuable for the students, right? We don't want to do it for the namesake, because if you look at the tier 2, tier 3 engineering colleges, internship, right? It is pretty much broken, right? If companies will say, if you have the skill, we'll give you the internship and we'll give you the stipend, right? But you don't have the skill, so where do you get the skill, right? So that way we blended the skill building and project building into this particular system, so that you can have a maximum takeaway from this internship program. Okay, so this is a brief about our internship footprint. Okay, so that's about our introduction, like where we started. That is our connection with Emertxe and WSA. What is our history of doing application related trainings, starting from Oracle timelines, right? Or even Sun Microsystems timelines, etc., right? And how we started internship, and and people basically are asking about about the live internship, what are the advantages, right? So this is our first session. We are coming to an end now. Let me move on to the, as I said, right, typically this particular session, I thought I should keep the second section. I thought quite a bit before I put up this particular slide. I can straight away jump to the internship part of it, right? But before that, many students do not know the concept of web development, how it has evolved, and as I said, why the full stack web developer has become more popular. Okay, so I thought we will cover some portion of that. So before I move on, let me take few questions, right? For example, Abdullah is asking how we can download this lecture. Abdullah, this recorded session will come to you. We'll be giving you something called LMS, Learning Management System. You need to log in there, and then you will be able to access these lectures, right? Not only these lectures, all the related materials which you need, right? Be it a pre-placed, be it the PDFs, right? Any sample code, project requirement document, discussion forums, submission forums, right? Interaction with the mentors, everything you will be able to do via learning management system, right? Absolutely no problem. Okay. So then how the attendance will be marked? Ankia, it would be great if you can stop flooding me. We're putting the same question, right? So attendance is getting automatically marked. Lakshmi Simha, please, you also please stop flooding. You're typing the same question 55 times by now. Okay, I'll come to that, right? So the attendance gets marked automatically, basically from the from the backend. Okay, so that's one thing, right? Second thing, Jai Narayan, please stop flooding. Right? You are typing the same thing 25 times. Please stop. Okay. I have taken software technology domain. Is it beneficial? Nah. Yes, nah. Yes, beneficial. Hai. Definitely, it will be beneficial for you, right? So Rajesh is asking, Rajesh is asking, can you change the timings from 7:30 to 9:30? No, we will not be able to do any changes. The timings will remain fixed from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. Gaurav is asking, sir, compare MERN stack with PHP. I'll come to that. That's a very idea why I'm having this particular second section now. Okay, so we will cover that aspects basically. Okay, then what is the difference? Will you send the logins of the recorded class in email? As I said, you will get an LMS. If you log in, you will access all the videos. No problem. Okay, LMS detail will be provided shortly. Okay, shortly in a day or two, usually, or it should have already reached you. In a day or two, you will be able to reach. Okay. So what is the duration of internship? It is for 1 month. Okay, then probably a week or two will extend because we want to give you some time to submission. So you can assume like 4 to 6 weeks is the overall duration. Okay. So how much skill do you require? Nothing. Okay, no prerequisite. In fact, not only our WSA, any internship or any training program that we do, it starts with level 0. Okay, so you don't need to come with any background, or rather I put like this, right? Should I learn something, learn and come here, right? Or rather I would put like this, come here and learn, right? You don't need to learn anything already, and come, right? Okay, so could you then you're telling what is the project name? Tomorrow it will be announced, your project details, right? Certification is there? Yes, certification will be provided to you. Please note, certification is given to students only when you submit the project, right? Project will be given. I hope all of you got the offer letters, right? Can you just confirm once? All of you got the offer letters? Yes, right? All of you got the offer letters, right? So offer letter is just a token that you are inside the internship, right? But you'll get the final certificate only when you submit the project. Just because this internship is free, we don't want to make it, time pass, right? As I said, free doesn't mean poor quality. In fact, we have very high standards for quality in WSA. You will figure it out as you move forward, right? Okay, so that way it's very, very important for ensuring that you submit the project. Okay, I know still a lot of questions are coming along. I think I'll skip for time being. I'll move on. If time permits, I'll come back and answer, and I'll also give you ways through which you can ask more questions. We'll answer your queries as well. Okay, so let us move on and study about something about web development, right? Okay, so let us talk about web application, right? Okay, so just a minute. So if you look at a bird's eye view, a very simplistic way, right? Or people ask, this litmus test, they'll say, right? Can you explain a technology to a very small kid, or can you explain a technology to a very old person, right? So how you can explain? You need to make things simple, right? And in fact, I would say today the younger generation are way smarter, right? If you have any, I have a teenage daughter. If you have your nephews and nieces, right, they're already learning programming, right? They're very smart, right? Assuming that you're going to explain to an old person, maybe a person who is 70 plus, right? How do you explain a web application, right? So let me put it like this, right? You go open your browser, right? And then you go and put your URL there, www.something.google.com or WebStackAcademy.com. So what happens is, right, once you type HTTP or HTTPS, so the content, the request goes from your browser to the remote server, right? And then from there, the response comes in a data format, right? And then response gets rendered in a browser, and you see the output, right? So this gives a very simple perspective to start looking at. That's why we categorize the web application as a front end and back end. So what is the front end? Okay, let us see whatever is there in the front end, right? What I see as a user, right, or what I see in my browser is nothing but my front end. Okay, so when I say front end, in the browser, the rendering part and displaying part, there are some technologies that comes into picture, namely HTML, hypertext markup language, which is nothing but the page level layout. See, please guys, I'll start with little basics in case if you know these things already, just pardon me, because as I said, we start with zero level knowledge, right? So I need to start from the scratch. So HTML pretty much talks about the layout of a page, where is a box, where is a circle, where is a sidebar, etc. It talks about the layout, okay? Or it talks about, like, say, for example, a human body, right? One head, 2 ears, 2 eyes, right? You can consider that as HTML, right? So of course, when you only you have eyes and nose, right, it is of not much use, right? I should look good, right? So that's where the styling comes into picture, right? Style means I'm combing my hair, I'm wearing my spectacles, and I'm wearing my goggles, right? I'm my mush is trimmed, I'm clean shaven today, I'm wearing a shirt which is of black and red color, right? This coloring is what you call it as a cascaded style sheets, or you call it as a CSS, right? If you look at traditionally websites in the beginning when they were launched, right, probably if you look at 20 years back, right, so pretty much these two technologies were enough, HTML and CSS. Why? Because most of the times the users were consuming the data from the website. Okay, please note, when I go to a news site, okay, during my days when I got introduced to internet around 20 years, more than 20 years back, right, there used to be sites like, for example, Reddit.com, right, angelfire.com, lycos.com. Probably some of the sites don't even exist today, right? When you go to website, what are you doing? Most of the times you're downloading the content, right, and you are basically consuming, right? You're not putting anything back. But if you see today's world, it's very different, right? You're sending a lot of things back to the internet, right? Do you agree with me, guys? Right? Today you're not only downloading or you're not only consuming, you're putting it back. In fact, if you ask me, a social media platform like Instagram, right, it's entirely reverse. They're given the platform, the entire content is put by you and me, whether it's some form of reels, pictures, etc., right? So that's what the websites also evolved, right? In the beginning of the websites, you put some pages, let us say, I'm writing about 10 articles, right? 10 technical articles I'm writing. There's a CSS, right? You just go ahead and look into it. That is good enough, right? There's nothing else is required. Okay, so just hopefully I'll be able to pick it up. Let me just see. Let me go off the. I was showing to my team sometime back. Let me see. I can pick it up for you guys today. Hope it will be available. I showed it to my team sometime back, our WSA team. Yeah, I think it's up, right? Okay, great. Okay, so now let me just show you the page. This is like, you'll find it funny, or you may find it really what do you call, very old style. I don't know what you guys think. Let us see. Let it show up. Yeah. So this, whatever you are seeing in this particular screen, is one of the earliest days of web development which I experimented, right? Of course, I come from computer science background. Apart from my embedded systems, right, one of my thing was to write and other things, right? So during those days, there used to be some spaces that I used to give, right? This is one of my initial website was there. So you write something about me, this is a when I was way younger during my HP days. I built this particular portal. I can see that it is mentioned my HP profile, and don't see me who is the person picture. It's the same guy, probably 20 years back, right? So if you look at this particular, I used to write some technical articles, right? Some book reviews, blogs, photos, etc., right? So now, if you look at this website, right, absolutely nothing that you are going to put it back, right? Whatever is there, you're consuming. So what is that I need? I need only HTML and CSS in the front end. I don't need anything else. Okay. Do you see guys what I'm saying? I'll come to the front full stack, right? Before that, you need to start, right, from where it has evolved, right? Guys, are you able to connect so far? Whatever I'm telling, yes, no? Okay. So this is how website used to look like. Now, if you show this website, you will say, sir, what, sir? Nothing is there in the site. Chumma you're showing. But if you look at those days, 20 years back, or even 15 years back, majority of the websites were like this. Only some text, maybe some image. Videos itself was not there. Where was YouTube then, right? Videos itself was not there because our internet speed itself was so slow, right? Today I'm sitting at my home, we are streaming, we are all over the world and listening to this webinar, right? During those days, the video itself is not there. So what I'm trying to say, coming back to my slide, right? Coming back to my this thing slide, that these technologies, HTML and CSS, were good enough. Okay. Then what happened? People wanted to bring some interactivity with the student, with the user, right? The user starts putting something back to the website. Okay, it's not only the user is consuming, right? The user is putting something back into the website. Can you give me an example of that? Whatever I'm saying, right? You as a user, as a web application or website user, you're putting something back into the website. Can you give an example like username and password? Great. Forms, right? Okay, more than YouTube, right? Forms is a great example. Google Forms, right? Blog comments, login form, feedback, fantastic, right? I would just say simple contact us form, right? Suppose you are building a particular website, right? In that there is a simple, right? Contact us, right? People say name, username, and comments, email ID, contact us, and inquiry, submit, right? So what is that? You're making the user basically a payment gateway, etc. Right? Clicking the button, right? That is when you are bringing the interactivity, right? So when you're bringing the interactivity is where the JavaScript came into perspective. So JavaScript, people who done the web programming, it runs as a part of the browser itself, right? Now it is evolved. I'll come to the MERN stack in subsequent slides, right? So it only runs in the front end, and all it was doing was whatever the user is entering, it will, like in a form, it will read the username, whatever your contact detail, it will send to the backend. Okay, so that's how the front end technologies were evolved. So if you look at the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript were the initial three technologies that were used to build a web application, which we called as front end. Of course, it has evolved. I'll come to that shortly, right? In the similar lines, when you look into the back end. So okay, fine. What is back end? Okay, I submitted some data, or before even submitting, I'm typing the URL into my browser, right? The request goes to the server. From there, it gets fetched, right? So for that, I need to write my logic, because wherever the user is clicking, the appropriate page should come up, right? He or she is basically, submitting a form. The data should be sent to the backend, right? And also success or failure message should come. Suppose my username and password, right? And putting in a form format, right? So, or I made a payment. It's a success. So basically, I need to build a logic in the backend. So that's when the programming languages or the backend programming languages started coming into picture, right? So these languages, if you see, there also it has gone through a lot of changes, right? It started with, for example, PHP, right? PHP.NET was one of the earliest programming languages which got introduced, right? Then it became, Java came. Java, revolutionized many things, and not only for the web side, even the enterprise application side, it started making a lot of difference. Then Python came into picture, right? Even today, Python is still heavily used in the web application, development, right? Here, Ritesh is telling backend is which we call brain to a website. That's correct, right? All the business logic, all the request response, right? Everything handled by the backend, right? Okay. So here, the beautiful thing is, right? Even though, please note, guys, one important point here to distinguish is the backend. You have a lot of programming languages. It could be written in, PHP, Java, J2E, right? Or Python and Django, right? And then you can also write using the what do you call Ruby and Rails, right? So a lot of things are there in the backend. But irrespective of whatever is there in the backend, right? In the front end, you will not know the difference. I'll come to Node.js shortly, guys. Okay, let us come to that shortly, right? Let us talk. You're talking a little bit history, right? Okay, let us start from the history. It started with PHP, then it became Java, then it became JavaScript, Python, etc., etc. Right? Now Srinivasan is asking which is the most used for backend, right? See, that is again that's not a straightforward answer. If you look at the old application which is written, right, and which you are still maintaining, still it is written in PHP. For example, most of the websites today use a content management system called WordPress. I don't know how many of you know. WordPress still uses PHP. Okay, even Facebook uses PHP, right? But if you look at the modern day web applications, right? Modern day web applications, whenever you are writing, for example, if you talk about LinkedIn, right? Uber, right? So these type of platform, if you see in the backend, they're using Node.js. I'll come to that why they're using Node.js, right? So the point is the legacy applications, the old generation applications are majorly written in PHP and as well as Java, and the new ones are written in using the Node and Express, right? Okay, that's what it is all about, right? So the point I wanted to drive here is in backend you have so many programming languages came. That's when what as an engineer or a developer also you will start learning was I learned Java, right? And you work on only the backend, or you'll say I'll only learn HTML, I'll work on the front end. So that way what was happened, the web application was something like a done in an isolated phase, and single application is there. It is developed by different people. Okay, that is how it started off, right? And if you look at slightly zoom it in, right, from a this is how I will explain if I need to explain to my mother, right, or my uncle, right, if they don't know anything about technology. But let us slowly start zooming in, because you're all engineers, right? Okay, or people who are interested in technology, right? But actually it's not two pieces, there are four pieces, right? One piece which we already discussed, front end, what I see it as a user, right? And please note this front end just like that cannot fetch data from the air, right? It needs some connectivity to the back end. So that's where what I call it as basically the connector comes into picture. So connector primarily uses your internet. Internet is built on TCP/IP based network, and for the web traffic we use a protocol called hypertext transfer protocol. And today not only the hypertext transfer protocol, we use a hypertext transfer protocol secure, because the data gets encrypted when it goes in the network, so that nobody can spoof your data or something like that, right? So that is how it started. Now consider your TCP/IP or internet as a big pipe. Inside that pipe you can run any type of a data, right? You can run video, you can run voice, you can run your text traffic, like your website traffic, right? Inside that, one of the pipes is HTTP. Okay? That is where you consume your website data coming into your client side. Okay, so when inside the pipe of HTTP, if you look at it, how the data get transferred, again there is a various data formats are there, right? Earlier we used to use a format called as XML, extendable markup language. Now this all changed. Now we use a format called JSON, right? JavaScript object notation, right? More of a name value pair is what we use, right? And to consume that, which services you need to look at from the backend, we use something called representational state transfer, or REST APIs, what we call, which is acting as a connector between the front end and back end. Okay. My request to, I hope I'm giving you some, I'm covering from the basics. In case some of you are finding little hard to cope up with the words, like for example REST APIs, or when you talk about JSON or something like that, do not worry. Anyways you'll be doing in a hands-on fashion. Okay, my idea is to give you an introduction today. You will anyways doing in a hands-on fashion, right? So consider your network is a big pipe. HTTP is one small pipe in that. Inside the pipe, how the data will be sent is nothing but the JSON format or a JavaScript object notation format, right? And the representational API or REST API is nothing but which service you want to consume from the backend. Again, if you don't know what is the word of service, etc., don't do it, right? But just understand you need a connector between front end and back end, which is nothing but this API or a HTTP based interface, right? Then if you slightly decode, of course, your back end comes into picture, where the programming language is there. And ultimately we forgot in the previous picture, we forgot one major piece, which is nothing but the data warehouse, right? At the end of the day, what are we doing? We are exchanging data between the front end and back end, right? Whether it's the website which is going to send the data towards the user, or the user is pumping his or her data towards the website. There's a lot of data exchange happens between the front end and back end. So there has to be a warehouse, or there should be some kind of a godown, there should be some kind of a repository where the entire data gets stored. That is nothing but we call it as a database, right? Again, database has got various varieties of it, right? So if you ask me slightly from an engineering perspective, technology perspective, you see, it's not only about front end and back end. I would say front end, right? A connector which we call API, then we say back end, and the database, right? It's actually a 4 components that are required to build an entire web application. Okay. Are you getting so far, guys? Am I making sense? Because I want to ensure that people who do not understand ABC of web programming also getting started making some sense. This is mainly for people who do not know anything. If you already know something, I'm very happy, no problem. Okay. As I said, now everything that we tell we sell from the scratch, right? And people who already know also, you will find something new. Okay, when I okay, Ayush is telling kind of little slow. Okay. So very well, sir, you are so good at this, right? Clear, everything being understood. Okay, great. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me move on, right? Now this is the whatever we saw. Now what are the technologies that come into picture, right? This is 4 blocks. Now let me look into the technological view, right? Suppose you are technology, right? As I said, in the front end we have HTML, CSS, JS, JavaScript, etc. I'll come to what exactly we mean by the etc. part of it, right? Then we move on to the second component, which is nothing but your data pipe, which consists of HTTP, REST, and JSON data format. 1 second, it's coming a little slow, I guess, my display. Okay. Then moving on, as I already said, in the backend, you can use either when it comes to backend programming, where you really write the business logic. You have various options, starting with PHP, Java, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, etc., right? So many options are there. Okay, varieties are there. And finally, if you look at the database, you have various types of databases are there. Two popular ones I mentioned, MySQL and MongoDB. The MySQL is the simplest of all, or what you call a structured database, where it's more of a tabular column. Okay, suppose I'm storing a student name, roll number, course name, marks, etc. Right? That's like a structural format. But today's web applications may not stored in a structural format. It more done in a hierarchical or tree format. For example, you're storing your photos in your Instagram, right? Or you are putting your stories in your Facebook, right? So that is more of a parent-child type of relationship, where such applications use a MongoDB, which is nothing but a tree structure. Okay, don't worry, you study about all of those things in the in this internship. I'm just trying to take a historical perspective and park you today, so that tomorrow onwards, when you get into the hands-on part of it, right, you should be able to relate, right? This is a technology point of view, right? Okay, so I will pause here from this particular what do you call from the technology point, right? Because if we go further, it will get too technical, right? Without getting coding, you will not get a there are questions coming. Deepak Kumar Solanki, please don't flood me. You're talking about what is the scope of MERN stack. I'll come to that. There are one slide I kept for that, right? So now coming to that, right? So now is a kyun karna, sir? Why should I do? Okay, from a developer point of view, why should I learn these particular technologies, right? So let me just answer that. If you look at today, right, earlier the web developer is evolved over the years, as I said, right? Earlier you used to call only a front-end developer, only a back-end developer, where you're working only on the Java, right? Or you're going to only work on a database. You used to call it as a database administrator, etc., right? So that is how it all started, developed by different people. Now what we say is, right, over the years the roles are merged, right? Now they say full stack web developer. When I say full stack web developer, you are supposed to know about the front end, you are supposed to know about the back end, you are supposed to know about the database, you're supposed to know about the connector. Rather, I come like front end, connector, back end, database. You're supposed to know about all the four aspects need to be covered. That is what today they say is a full stack web developer. You need to know all of them. Okay. And companies actually the companies are finding it this type of role very, very exciting, because it is one of the most sought after roles in the industry today. Any company, small, medium, big, right? If you say I'm a full stack web developer, the value goes significantly higher, right? I just wanted to show one statistics here in the screen. Okay, it will pop up slowly. Okay, I know it's coming a little slowly. If you look at here, right? So this is one of the job market report that we saw. We were taken from one of the market study report. If you see there, right, if you see any of these companies, right, they say if you look at a company which is of around 1,000 to 2,000 people companies, if you go and stay, right, they say 36.9%. If you see, it is the they say it is the most required job role, or they say it is the most difficult job role to recruit, because it's not easy for one person to be good at everything, right? That's what make it interesting also. That's what make it challenging also, right? Okay, it's easy to say I want to become a full stack web developer, right? But it's not easy. You need to be good at many things, right? Similarly, another statistic says, right, if you take a company which is having 1,000+ employees, they did a survey. They also said, full stack developer is nothing but basically 33.9% of the people say it is the most sought after role. And please note, in this diagram there is an interesting graph. This is, right, even if you look at, right, your machine learning engineer, even though there is a lot of gaga going around artificial intelligence and machine learning, etc., right? Okay, if you look at, right, it is more hot, or it is more sought after than a machine learning engineer or an AI engineer, right? Full stack developer is, I would say, has been a can say favorite of many companies across the industry. Okay, so if you learn the full stack development, you are really going to have a very good career. Maybe towards the end of the internship, I'll again and come and meet. Probably will throw more insight into it, right? Because my idea is to relate, why should you learn? Kyun seekhna, sir? Why should I learn this technology, right? What is the benefit? This graph should remind you, right? This is the graph which says, based on the survey saying that, right? Okay, this particular, more than machine learning, right? This is the most sought after, role in the industry. Okay, did this information give you excitement, guys? Okay. Did it give you motivation why you should learn full stack web development? Okay, great. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Okay, great, right? But it's not easy. I'll come to that part, right? I'll come to that part now. It's not easy to know everything, right? Front end, connector, back end, database. To be good in that, it's very, 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 very difficult for many of you, right? Okay, all right. So let me move on from this one to give more idea about a little bit of couple of slides about the career point, right? So to whom I can compare full stack web developer, right? Just to give you little lighter perspective, right? I think past few slides have been little bit of tight or little technical it became, right? If you go and see a doctor or a hospital, there'll be something called general surgeon. So general surgeon is a guy who can perform variety of surgeries. Of course, you have some special surgeons who perform, let's say, ortho, who perform, let us say, perform, let us say, cardio or any type of such surgeries, right? But there'll be a general surgeon who will do pretty much all the surgeries. There's a small cyst, right? Or there's a small broken limb, or there's a small muscle that need to be cut off, or there's an injury which need to be removed, etc. Right? You can compare a full stack developer who can do variety of surgeries. That is one way to look into, right? Second way to compare, is basically, is something called as ninja, right? So ninja warrior, people say ninja warrior is trained. There is a huge description about ninja. We just want to go and type, ninja, right? Ninja can handle various types of, attacks, right? He's having various equipments or various weapons with which he can handle various types of risky situations. Okay. This too might you are still finding. I'm already, getting examples from Muhammad, and also from some others, right, about the role, right? I think the most popular and easier way to remember a full stack developer is compare with the all-rounder, right? Who is the person in the picture, in the all-rounder? I'm sure cricket buffs will recognize. Who is he? Yeah, Jaddu, right? Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja, right? So if you see Ravindra Jadeja can bat, can bowl, can field. Of course, fielding is there, but he can do both batting and bowling, right? Okay. But of course, some of them can do wicket keeping also, right? Wicket keeping and bowling, but largely like Hardik Pandya, right? Hardik Pandya, okay. Jadeja are two popularly known all-rounders in the recent past. And even if you're a cricket buff watching, right? Even if you take people like Ravichandran Ashwin and Shardul Thakur, right? They also kind of come under that category. Right? Yeah, of course, if you go back, Kapil Dev, I'm seeing a lot of examples. Ben Stokes, absolutely, right? Nabi, yes, Nabi is a great thing, great guy. And Rashid Khan, yes, I think that's coming. We have an Afghan member here, right? Rashid Khan is a fantastic all-rounder, right? Hardik Pandya, right? Rashid, Yuvraj Singh, Hasaranga, Hitman is a batsman, man, right? Ben Stokes, I think Ben Stokes is probably the best all-rounder that you can see, right? Callis, right? Jack Callis, fantastic, right? Uzumaki Naruto, okay, I don't know, okay, yeah, he may be a ninja warrior, I guess, right? Michelle Marsh, I'm not sure he's a bowler, right? Pandya, Bravo, Virat Kohli doesn't bowl much, right? Andrew Russell, yes. Chris Gayle, no. Okay, MS Dhoni may not be because he doesn't bowl, right? He does batting and wicket keeping. Okay, but I would say batting, bowling are the major. Sam Curran, yes. Akshar Patel too good because he's from a bowler, he's transitioning to batsman, right? Kapil Dev is one of the greatest all-rounders that we have seen, right? We have seen so far. Yeah, Kiran Pollard, yes, right? Suresh Raina to some extent, right? Of course, it will vary, right? But you guys got it, right? So are you able to relate when you say full stack web developer, right? You are able to relate now. Can I get some responses? That's why I kept the cricketing example later, right? I want to keep the excitement towards the end, right? Okay. Are you able to connect when you say, but please note, being Jadeja is not easy. Okay. If you focus on batting, bowling will not work. If you focus on wicket keeping, your fielding will go for a toss, right? Jadeja is great batsman, great bowler, and also one fantastic fielder. I think we're discounting, right? He's one of the fantastic field, fielder, and he does it regularly. See, everybody can take bowling. Even Virat Kohli does sometimes bowling. Even Dhoni done bowling one of the test matches, right? But somebody who does multiple functionality on a regular basis, right? He's called an all-rounder. Okay, are you able to relate? Yes, I'm getting a lot of yeses, right? This is how you can compare yourself as a full stack web developer. Is nothing but an all-rounder, and it is not going to be easy. That's what I want to tell, right? You have to spend a lot of time coding, and that's why when I show the previous graph, right, why it is most sought after profile with the companies, it is because, right, it is because I would say, right, gaining expertise in all technologies or all departments is not going to be easy, right? Again, there are some questions coming up. Naturally, I was expected. Sir, will AI will replace, full stack web developer role, right? I'll come to that later. Okay, all right. Okay, so chalo, we'll move on. Okay, a few more slides. Okay, so why full stack web developer has become popular? Many reasons. 4 reasons I mentioned here. One is today our websites have become highly data driven. Not only towards consumption from the server side. Imagine how much data you're uploading every time to the website, right? In any web application, even if you take, for example, your Instagram also, you can very well say it's a web application, right? In fact, I would say, if you look at social networking, ever since it's come, right, the download has come less, the upload has become more, right? If you look at Instagram, what they do, right? They don't have any data. They just give a platform. We only upload everything, right? Imagine, right? So any web application today, whether you say small web application or an enterprise application or social media, which is accessed by billions of users, every web application has become highly data driven, right? So it's very important that basically, website, the full stack web developer become very popular because websites have become data driven. So you need full stack developer who can look into, where is the issue, debug it, develop features, etc., right? Similarly, the second reason why the FSD has become famous, it is because, as I already mentioned, right, the websites has become used by millions. In fact, I would put billions, right? Okay, that's what we mean by scalable. It is not that you develop a website which is used by a few hundreds of people, few tens of people. Right? Today's web applications are used by billions of people at the same time, and especially when you look at a specific, specific situations, right? Can you give me an example of a web application, okay, where you get the maximum hits or maximum people are accessing a particular website? Can you give me an example? ChatGPT, okay, LinkedIn, Instagram, some recent examples. Okay, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, specifically, if you wanted to give me, okay, you have something called Flipkart Big Billion Days. All of you know Flipkart Big Billion Days, right? Similarly, you have Amazon, Great Indian Sale coming up, right? So when you say that happens, right, imagine it within one particular second, right, billions of connections is going to come. Okay, so the particular your website has become, very scalable, right? So because since you guys are asking about this particular question, why MERN stack, right? If you look at a web application written using Aryan Pachigar, please hold on, you are flooding my window, right? I'm answering a question right now, right? So why you should use Node.js, or why I should use Node.js or Express.js in my backend? It is one of the main reasons is scalability. Okay, for example, compared to my PHP, compared to my Java, my JavaScript based backend, that is using the JavaScript in the backend, Node and Express, it gives me a lot of scalability, right? Where billions of users can use at the same time, millions of users can use, be it Uber, be it Ola, be it LinkedIn, be it I don't know why you did not tell me that example. People told me YouTube, but you did not tell me one more thing. What was that? Similar to YouTube, I was expecting that example. Can you tell me one more example for a highly data driven and highly scalable website or web applications? I think Sai Sindhu is telling the answer, I think, followed by Srinivasan, right? Netflix. Look at the OTT platforms today, guys, right? Amazon Prime is there, right? You today, you people, right? Yes, I'm a boomer uncle today, right? I come from a very long technology background, right? Today, you guys, I'm pretty sure you will not accept anything less than in a full HD. Below 4K, you will not accept. You'll say, you'll throw into the dustbin, right? Okay. Hotstar, right? Okay, so that's where you need to make your application scale. Imagine, right? And recently, any movie that comes in OTT, right? Yeah, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Geo Cinema. Especially we're talking about IPL, right? IPL finals. How many of you woke up till 1:30 a.m. and then watch, right? Jaddu hitting 6 and 4 towards the end, right? It happened in 1:30 a.m., right? I saw it. I think, I don't know, 2.4 crores is a number that situation is coming. Crores of people are watching at the same time, right? So your backend, imagine, right? Imagine it's a web application, guys, right? Okay. So your backend should be in a position to handle so many connections. So one of the reasons why MERN has become more popular than your, PHP or Java based backend, because the way how the Node and Express is designed in the JavaScript backend, it can scale, it can cater to so many billions of users at the same time concurrently. Right? And what we also want fast, not we want, right? Okay, we want fast. 1 second glitch, you will feel irritated, right? Okay, can't, right? You want full HD immediately coming, right? And imagine, so many technologies that goes in the picture. So that's one of the reasons why full stack web developers become very, very popular, right? Okay. Similarly, what are the other third reason? Let's look into it. Third reason why this full stack developer has become famous is because you want the features to be customers to be getting fast features. For example, I was talking to somebody in Flipkart. I'm talking about around 3-4 years back. They had some training requirement. We're talking, right? Can you guess on a weekly basis? It's a quiz question to all of you, right? Can you tell me on a weekly basis how much time the Flipkart sites get updated? How many times Flipkart.com when you type, right, whatever comes in the screen, right, how much time they're going to implement new features and implement a new software? Any guesses? 2 to 3 times, 5 seconds? No, I'm not talking the hit rate, guys, right? When you type a Flipkart.com, something comes, right? The software, the web application software, right? How many times in a week it gets updated? It is basically get updated minimum 2 times or maximum 3 times per week. Please note. Now I'm not talking about traffic, right? Every minute and all you're telling, that's the wrong answer. I'm not talking about access. Access can be done by million. But what comes to the Flipkart side, right? Whatever, when you take Flipkart.com, right? What comes from their side, right? It gets updated once in 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Okay. So customers want faster releases. If you suddenly see there's some new icon has come, new tab has come, the US changed, right? So even if you wanted to, even though it's not even if it's not a right comparison, but just for a discussion sake, I'm telling, right? You just see how many updates you get in your mobile apps. Yeah, Srinivas is telling DevOps, right? Yeah, DevOps is what makes it happen in the backend, right? Okay, so this is also one of the very important reason why the full stack developer become very, 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 very popular, where you want faster releases to the customers, right? Okay, in the web application space also, right? Last but not the least, right? Today's websites require amazing UX and UI, right? So I specifically kept it as UX and UI. Somebody asked this particular question, right? Can anybody tell me what is UX and what is UI? Some of you know, but still I want to ask you. UI is user interface, okay? UX is nothing but, what is UX? User experience, right? Today, when I'm building any web application, right? Any web application you're doing, the look and feel is superior, right? If you're going and checking a website, right? If you don't find anything in few seconds, right? You're going to close the web application and come down, right? So UI is what you technically implement, right? But the science goes behind the UI, right? Where should be the button? What should be the color of the button, right? Where should be the main screen? For example, if you take this particular screen, which is there in your screen, the PPT itself, right? For example, you see the circles, right? Where it should come, right? What color it should come, what it should be the space, etc., right? So by looking into this, you guys are getting. Imagine I'm showing some boring text slide and talking like as some history, right? Half of you would have logged out and go away. Within 10 minutes, you will think that boring hai yaar, ye pura college lecture jaise lag raha, I'm looking like I'm sitting in a college lecture, you'll think, right? So if you look at this screen, it's right, it's so rich in nature, right? I purposely like more colors. My team will sitting here. They will be able to relate what I'm saying, right? I like a lot of colors, right? I really enjoy this kind of UI, right? Which is having such a great UX, right? So today, when you talk about and when you talk about any website today, it should look neat, right? It should be easy for you to read, easy for you to make some actions on it. And imagine, right? You wanted to buy something, right? You want to buy some e-commerce website, right? You've selected, you like the product, but buy now button is not there. You are searching. Right? Buy button, where is that? Imagine, right? It's crazy, right? So imagine, similarly, you are watching a cricket match, right? You want to refresh it quickly, right? The refresh button is not there, or somewhere kone pe hai, right? How do you like it, right? So there's a lot of science goes behind the UX. People, the what you call user experience, but not really the UX, the UI. What you are going to see using the front end technologies, especially when you talk about mobile screens, because in India, a lot of you use mobile screens more than a desktop or a laptop. How it look in the mobile screen makes a lot of difference, because mobile has got limited real estate. That's where the other technology like responsiveness come into picture, where we not only the CSS, a big brother called Bootstrap is there. There's another technology which helps you to ensure that the website is very much responsive. Imagine the same screen I want to show in a mobile screen, right? It will now have so many real estate, so probably I should show it slightly differently. So that's what this entire this thing, yeah, Tailwind CSS, many things are coming up, right, in the similar fashion, right? That's what makes this web application or the full stack developer very, very exciting, and the full stack developer become very, very popular. Okay, now coming to our internship, I want to give a very brief high level aspect about your MERN stack, and then I'll because otherwise it will become like a technical workshop, right? Today we're talking about the kickoff meeting, right? So in this internship, you are going to learn something called MERN stack. Okay, so what do you mean by MERN stack? Very simple. M stands for MongoDB. If you look at whatever I explained, so let me put all the circles and explain. It will be easy for you. Okay, hopefully all the circles come up. I think it's slightly lagging. Okay, great. Okay, so now what is MERN stack is all about, right? MERN stack is nothing but a combination of certain important technologies, right? Using which, if you learn those technology, you will be able to build a full stack web application which is catering to the 4 points which I mentioned. What are the 4 points which I mentioned in the previous slide? 4 points I mentioned. What are the 4 reasons why FSD or the full stack developer is become famous? Can you just list the 4 points? Point number 1, yeah, scalability, very nice. Data driven, second, UI UX, fantastic. Okay, fast release, great. 4 reasons, right? If you wanted to make it, of course you can do it in different technologies, right? Now they came up with many technologies, but this combination they found it is really killer. Okay. Using which you are able to build an amazing UI in the front end, which gives a great UI UX, okay, to the user, and you're able to build a great scalable in the back end, right? That is where the MERN stack has become very popular. So what are this particular MongoDB is a database that you are going to use. I just highlighted there. If you can see, the various parts of the technologies are there. We see the M stands for MongoDB, that is in the backend, and E is nothing but the express.js and node.js, which will be available in the backend. As I said, you can use various programming languages. Here Node and Express both are based on JavaScript, okay, which will help you to build a scalable backend. Okay, that is about E and N, and then the R stands for React. Okay, R stands for React. Okay, so this is a combination is what you call it as MERN. Okay, so I think we touched upon MongoDB, which is nothing but a tree-based database, right? And your Node and your Express helps you to build a scalable backend. Okay, I'll touch upon a little bit about React. I will not go too much detail into it. Again, as you said, it's not a technical workshop, right? And I don't want to scare you off, right? I want you to excite you guys. I want you to, as much as possible, motivate you so that you can do the internship, right? I don't want to do my, sir has still told me too much technology, right? If my head is heavy, I will not be able to, do this internship, and I will not do, right? I don't know. That's not the idea, right? My idea is to make it simple and so that you get pumped up, right? So in the front end also, if you look, we talked a lot about backend. We talked about, we talked about scalability. We spoke about Netflix. We spoke about Hotstar. Where so many billions of concurrent connections are served from the backend. Okay. Please note, our front end also has become very complicated or very rich in terms of our UI. Okay. So that's where has led to something called as something which today we call it as it could be called as a spa. Okay, they call it as a spa. It's not the spa which you go for your beauty parlor's sake, right? That's not the spa I'm talking about. It's a single page application. Okay, people, can you give me as example of a spa? If I tell an example, then you will say, sir, I'm learning it every day, right? If you don't know, no problem. But people, anybody can give me an example of spa, YouTube. Okay, Srinivasan, I'll be happy if we start typing the double questions. It is kind of irritating me, okay, because it is running too fast. You are the one who is typing only the question marks. Okay, Form, Instagram, Gmail, yeah, okay, Netflix, okay, Google Forms, many examples, right? I would say a simple, for me, the wonderful spa. Just a minute, guys. I don't know. I'm getting this phone call continuously. Give me a minute. Sorry, guys. There's some continuously somebody was dialing me. Okay. So for me, the wonderful spa, I really enjoy using it. Can you guess what is my favorite spa, or which spa I do, right? For me, the wonderful spa that I really enjoy doing is nothing but, okay, for me, it is nothing but GD. Okay, what is GD stands for? What is GD? Can you guess what is GD? Google Docs, right? Not Google Drive, Google Docs, right? So why I say Google Docs, it's been my favorite spa is because if you look at the Microsoft Word, right, which is a desktop-based application, please understand, right? I install my Microsoft Word in my desktop and I invoke, and I go and when I go to Google Drive, I'm accessing my web, right? But you look at compare these two, no? Google Drive has become so advanced experience, so much advanced features are there, even compared to my desktop-based application. That's the beauty of full stack web development, guys, right? Every time I use Google Docs, I just go crazy because it provides so much of features, right? So again, when you wanted to build so much of features in the front end, right, the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the front end requires something called as a framework or a library. That's where the Angular or React comes in the picture, which helps you to build a spa. Okay, so I'll not go further deep into it, otherwise I'll confuse you too much. I want to stop here because we are going to talk about what you will be doing in internship. A lot of people are asking about how the internship will work, etc., right? But I just wanted to pause here, right? Okay, and then leave it here. So you are going to learn about MERN stack. Okay, especially your focus will be on the front end. In the back end, Node.js and Express.js, coding of that we will not be able to teach because 1 month is too short to do that. So what our mentors have done is they will be giving a ready-made backend with the APIs exposed. You will learn about front end, of course. You will learn about the connector. You will also learn about the database, right? But you will use the backend as a black box. Okay, it is readily available because if we cover Node and Express also, right, it will become too lengthy. But ensure that you're able to get an entire web application building experience. Not only building, you'll be deploying it in some of the servers. Some of you already said about GitHub, or you can deploy it in Heroku, Firebase. There are a lot of platforms are there where you can make your application live, right? tomorrow you can go and tell your friend, boast to your friend, saying that, hey, look at this link, right? My application is running here, right? You'll be able to boast yourself. That's what we are going to do. Okay. So this is my second section, second section, which I wanted to, complete. Before we move on to the, third part of the, where we're going to talk about internship modalities, right? So in summary, what I wanted to tell 3-4 points. One, the web application has come a long way, because the application complexity, the feature, the functionality, what it was, I showed my own website, right, which I built only using HTTP, sorry, only using HTML and CSS, right? From there, it come a long way, right? Now the web application, the front end also has become very rich, which we call a SPA, and the back end also should be in a position to handle so many millions of connections concurrently. That's where you need a scalable technology, right? And which can handle such a complex data-driven websites and also make frequent release to the customers and serve them at scale. That's where we need a technology like MERN stack come into picture, right? You can ask, you can, does the PHP doesn't do the job? Yes, it does the job, right? There are some features available in Node and Express, which is giving the superior technology compared to that, right? So slowly, companies are phasing out those regular applications and migrating it to MERN or MEAN, right? Going forward, you can see more and more companies will migrate to these technologies. That's why, knowing these technologies will make you really a most sought after web developer. I also told, right, it is one of the most sought after most sought after technology or the skills that you should have. Okay. So this portion, right, I would have very well skipped and said, but it's important because many of you, I don't know what type of background that you come from. Some may come from computer science, some may not come from that. Some are totally new to it. Some know something about it. But I thought I should, wrap everybody, right, bring all of you into the same page so that you know what is web application, right? What are the 4 pieces in it, and why the full stack developer is most sought after, right? And what are the high level pieces, right? In front end, what technology I should learn, connector, what are there, back end, what is there, database, what is there. If you have learned this much, that is the purpose of this particular session. Again, if you dwell everything, right, it will keep on digging. We discuss, it will lead to a lot of technical discussions, right? Okay, so I'd like to pause here and quickly check how are you finding the session so far, especially the second one. Are you able to relate whatever points has been discussed? I try to simplify and make you understand. Did you understand? Can I get some responses? Ritika is telling yes. Okay, yes sir, yes sir. A lot of yeses coming. Session was good. Okay, where to post the questions are coming, right? A lot of yeses are coming. Understood, right? Nice photos. They're telling nice representation, amazing explanation. Session are good. Understood, sir. Right? Session is really good. Today's session was good. I'll come to that, right? Session ended. No, I'm not ending. I'll talk about internship now, a small piece, but this second portion, especially the the front end, connector, back end, database. This, if you understand, then it's good, right? Okay, very interactive session. Excited for the internship. Okay, got to know about, right? Okay, great. All right. Now we'll talk about internship, right? How are you going to execute this? Now we understood why website full stack web developer, why MERN stack, what are the advantages of MERN stack, etc., right? So how are we going to execute this? Okay, so let us talk about our internship right now. So let us talk some of the text. Let me put up in the put up in the screen now. Let it come up. I think the text takes some time. Yeah, it is coming now, right? So in as I said, in WSA we are doing for the first time, but in Emertxe we've been doing it for more than 2 years now. 2,500 plus colleges we reached, right? So we wanted to basically do something for the colleges, something for the college students, right? And especially in the internship cycle, targeting the tier 2, tier 3 college students, because tier 2, tier 3 college students, it's kind of a chicken or egg situation, right? It's like, if I have a skill, I'll get into a better role, better job, but who will help me, to skill myself, right? And and who will be supporting me to learn? So mostly, if you look at that way, MERN stack and all, there are tons of contents available already. It's not like embedded systems and IoT, right? Which is still a niche area. But if you look at MERN stack, if you just go and do simple Google, you'll get all the materials, right? But what is the biggest challenge there? You will not get support. I think already told, right? Making it basically, making it interactive, making it, somebody's hand holding you as a mentor, right? The mentoring is lacking. Okay, So we thought we should do something for the academia. That's when we launched, and that's why we are launching this particular internship also. There have been a lot of requests that has been coming. We've been handling interns right from the international interns, which I mentioned from South Korea. We did a long time back, right? So we've been doing that. And one of the beauty of this online platform like GoToWebinar is helping you to basically do this at scale, right? We see, right? I'm sitting at my home in Bangalore, right? You're all from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. We're all able to sit and learn here. That's the power of technology, and that's the power of web application, right? Itself, right? The live, okay, you're all able to see that, right? So that's where we are here for, with which we wanted to contribute in the industry academia gap, and we wanted to change the way how the internship is done in India, right? For 1 month sake of it, people just go, they pay something, get some certificate, and then submit to the college, right? We wanted to change that. Okay, we want to really give you guys a rich experience where you build something on your own, implement a project hands-on, deploy it in a server, right, and feel towards the end of the internship, hey, wow, I done it, right? So that's a kind of a kick that we wanted to give. What project it is, tomorrow you come, right? You will move in, you'll be able to explain. I still keep it suspense. I know the topic, but I will not tell you, right? So this is the motivation with which you are doing. Again, let me repeat. Absolutely nothing to worry. Nobody is going to ask you to pay a penny. Neither we'll pay you anything, nor you need to pay anything. Right? And I would say our embedded and IoT internship has become already a super duper hit. Right? So we wanted to extend it with the MERN stack internship also. Okay, that's our motivation. Okay. So how it works? It has been divided into 9 phases. 8 phases. Don't get too scared about the picture. Okay, it's very simple one. So what are we going to do? Let me take some water. Okay. Okay. So what are we going to do? We are going to starting from today, right? We are starting the kickoff today. Tomorrow onwards, right? You are going to use the same link, whatever you logged in. You're going to use the same GoToWebinar link. Log in at 7 p.m. every day, right? Tomorrow also. Tomorrow, Mubin will take this particular first session on, SDLC. SDLC means software development lifecycle, where how do you basically convert a customer requirement into a working project. He will give an overview, and he will also give you an overview about the project. What is the project? What are the expectations, etc., etc. He'll give you high-level details about that. That will be the focus of tomorrow's session, right? Then what we'll be doing is slowly we'll be starting with the hands-on part of it. Primarily, we'll be focusing on the front end and the React. Front end, when I say primarily the HTML and CSS part of it, and then the React. React, as I said, it's one of the JavaScript library which helps you to build a Spark, right? Single page application. You'll start that. And as you learn, you'll also get to know a lot of this computer science fundamental, be it object-oriented programming, a bit about HTTP, JSON data format, right? Design patterns like MVC, right? Then you learn a little bit about the class design, object and class relationship. A lot of object-oriented stuff you'll be able to learn, which is very, very important in order to basically become a very successful full stack web developer. And please note, once you start today and tomorrow may not be anything hands-on, but once our mentors take over, it will be a completely hands-on session, okay, where you are supposed to bring in a laptop or a desktop. Okay, please don't attend these sessions in mobile. It's not going to be helpful at all. Okay, it will be a hands-on session. You need to have a decent laptop or a desktop. And some student yesterday asked a very innovative question, sir, can I listen in mobile and can I type it in desktop? That's fine, no problem. But ensure that you all have a laptop or a desktop. Okay, if you are only going to listen to the live class, it is as good as watching YouTube video. No, what's the difference, right? Or listening to some this one, right? So that's not going to help you, right? Okay, so it's going to be completely hands-on, where you will start with the fundamentals and then you will build this particular front end. You are going to work on one project. All of you will be working one project and implement the entire project in that 4 to 5 weeks time, right? And in the back end, basically they will be giving you the ready-made API. You're not going to implement those APIs because that will make the internship even more long. So which is implemented using the Node and Express only. You will be getting that. So you'll be integrate this particular application with the backend. You will get definitely some perspectives about backend also, and then test it and then make it live. Okay, that is one portion of it, right? That is the major technical aspects of the of the application, right? Then towards the end, I will come back again, and then I'll run a series of workshops on Disha workshop. What do you say? Disha, as you know, it's a word called direction, right? We'll be learning about how to write an impressive resume, right? So it's not about you learn this project, you build this project. You need to represent in your resume, right? How well you are going to represent that, and also how to build an online portfolio. See, one of the most beautiful thing about being a web developer is that you should be in a position to build a online portfolio, right? So let me just show you a couple of online portfolios of my interest, right? One is just a minute, let me pull it up for you guys so that you'll be able to relate what I'm saying. Give me a second, I'm just going off the screen. Yeah. You can see in this particular page, hope you're able to see that. Okay. So this is a GitHub where whenever you're writing a source code, right, you must create a GitHub repository on your own. Okay. So this is a GitHub repository of my own nephew, okay, whom was really passionate about AI and the robotic side, right? He was inspired, and I kind of motivated him to build this. That's what he has done, right? He's if you see, right, he checked in a lot of source code here, whatever he's worked on. And not only that, this is more of a source code, the GitHub, right? But GitHub also gives you a opportunity to build a portfolio. That's more of a source code repository. Not only that, you should be in a position to showcase a portfolio like this. And give me a minute, I think it will flash. This taking a few seconds. Yeah. So Kaushik is my own nephew, right? So when he was learning things, like I told him, right, one of the beautiful things about application programming, or even for that matter, learning a web application or a AI. So he's been more than a full stack. He was interested in AI. So he's a robotic engineer, works in a startup called Dimag in Bangalore, right? He's a combination of machine learning and machine learning and robotics. That's a space he works, right? So I told him you should build a portfolio and maintain it, right? This is like your live resume, right? Anybody who wants to see. Unfortunately, when we run the embedded systems internship, right? Those students cannot showcase their output like this, right? So to build the page itself, you need a technology, right? You need to know how to write it, how to put a photo. It's all require you to build a page on your own, right? So like this, you can build this particular page, showcase all your work experience, your education qualification, what are the technologies that you know, what are the projects that you worked on, right? So this way you will be able to build a portfolio on your own, right? So towards the end of the end of this particular end of the particular internship, I come back again. Then I will I will just come and showcase or give you some tips and tricks how to build an impressive resume and how to create this portfolio, so that I tell my students, right, I think this you should take it as a very important input, right? Do not get recruited by a resume. Okay, do not get recruited by resume, right? Send them the portfolio, they should hire you without even interviewing you. Imagine, right? It should be so impressive, right? I'll show you one more thing. I think that guy is that is how I was inspired. Let me just see. Devendra is my college junior. He's like one of the Dora, yeah, so on. Yeah. I think he's not maintaining it. After he starts working, he probably got busy now. Let it show up. It's doing little slow here. Yeah. So you can see here, right? This entire information about his, projects, what he's worked on, his education, what and all projects that he's worked on, right? And it's some of the innovation project what he did, it got featured in, I think, some of the newspapers, etc., right? So you should be able to showcase like this. And tell me, if you showcase a portfolio like this, which company will not recruit you? They'll be standing in line to recruit you, isn't it, guys? Do you agree with me? You have a GitHub where you have source code, and you have got this github.io where you have portfolio. Tell me which company will not recruit you, isn't it? Right? You are telling, dekh lo bhaiya, aisa bhaiya mera maal. Okay, take this. This is my content, right? Any company will see you the link and hire you. Forget about interview test. That is later, right? So build a portfolio and maintain that portfolio. These kiddos are not maintaining. I should tell, probably Devendra and Kaushik, right? Guys, you should, maintain that portfolio, keep it updated, right? Portfolio is very, very important for the web developer, right? And it is not necessary that you should update the portfolio only when you're applying for a company, right? Let it be like your journal or a blog, right? Where you keep on updating your learnings, keep on updating your projects, and that will inspire many people, by the way, right? Devendra inspired Kaushik, I would say. I used to show Kaushik, look how Devendra has built. So Kaushik has built his portfolio, right? And then I'm telling you guys, right? You guys should build a portfolio similar to Kaushik, right? So it's all about, we getting some information, inspiring each other, right? Imagine, guys, a day where you have such portfolio where, you have 4 or 5 projects. Of course, we'll get you started with one project, right? Then we'll also give you some tips and tricks where you can explore further and build more projects, right? Imagine, right? You build some, 5, 6 projects, right? Sky is the limit, I would say. Okay. So we'll teach you. We'll come back and do everything in the Disha workshop. Okay. As a part of Disha workshop. So few more slides, guys. I'm kind of coming back to the okay. So what are the benefits for you guys as a student? As I already mentioned, by working in a MERN stack, you're going to target product companies. It's not only IT companies. Let us target product companies. Product companies, when I say companies like Ola, Uber, this should be your aim. LinkedIn should be your aim. Okay, it's not easy, but let us aspire for that, right? Okay. Then you are going to build a real hands-on coding. As I said, at least 1,000 lines of code you should be able to write. That's my challenge for all of you. If you follow what mentors are telling, you will. Okay, and demonstrate with the portfolio. And last but not the least, right, we will give you a certificate. And let me repeat you. Your offer letter will be given to all, right? But we will not give you a certificate if you don't submit the project, right? Some students will come on last day and say, sir, certificate kidhar, sir. Okay, we'll say if you're not submitting a project, forget about the certificate. Our mentors will evaluate. They will see to it that you are done the coding genuinely. Then only we'll be able to give you the certificate. Let me be very clear with that. Okay, don't come and push us to give certificate. We'll not give you. Okay. Other part is, just to motivate you guys throughout the internship, there'll be a lot of quizzes we'll be conducting, technical quizzes we'll be conducting. We'll be conducting some, in the Disha workshop, I'll be conducting some quizzes. All the quizzes you will need to take it from LMS only. So we will basically, evaluate you. Winners will give you some goodies. Right? People who are done embedded and IoT internship, you guys know, we'll keep keeping some items. Our team will, keep shipping you. They'll take your details, and then we'll be giving you the goodies, right? Just to keep you guys motivated, right? So this complete package is for you guys. It is up to you to get the maximum benefit for you, right? And then internship execution, I think I already told good number of the points. Every day it will be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will not be able to change the timings. It will remain same. In case your college exams are there, some other things are happening, right? It is up to you to manage. Okay, and every day the session will get recorded. Probably the next day or so, or one more day later, it will be made available from the LMS. You can play and then watch the entire 2-hour session which you missed. But I would say don't take this as an excuse, right? If you're only watching them, please note that the recorded video that we give as a backup, right? In case if you're not able to attend the live session, you get it as a backup. If you're again only watching recorded video, what's the point, right? You can very well watch it from YouTube only. Now go and take a Udemy course, no, right? Okay, so please note that this entire thing will be given to you. Even the PPT is what we are sharing. This PPT also, right? Even the future whatever the mentors are going to share you, right? Everything they will be giving to via LMS. You will shortly will be sharing the username and password, right? You will get access to everything. Don't worry. We'll give you all the resources for you to learn that. Okay. In the LMS only you will get the recorded session available, right? And how can you seek help if you have doubt? One way is basically all the technical related queries. You can create a discussion forum will be there. You can post there. Mentors will respond inside the LMS. That is one thing, right? Then anything that is non-technical, okay, anything that is non-technical, we have an email ID and also a Telegram group available where you can access. So LMS means learning management system, right? It is nothing but a web application. I think that's like a learn.webstackacademy.com or something like that. Let me see wherever, guys. I think that's where they set it up. WebStack, wherever you already taken the test. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so I think good number of you already have a login. Okay, you log in. This is nothing but LMS. So slowly our mentors will be putting all the contents of the contents of the thing into it. Okay, that's where you will be doing. Okay. Okay, so you'll have 5 days a week, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 1 month is what we target. But 1 or 2 weeks we'll give some additional time for project submission. But as far as we are concerned, we'll close it in a 4 weeks time. Okay. And quiz will be there for your day-to-day. Any questions are there. And finally, you need to make a video. Your project output, you need to make a video and submit in the LMS itself. Our mentors will look into the video and then evaluate it. Okay. And then you can also implement more on the project. You can add more features, etc. That's when you can go more number of mechanisms, right? Okay, that's what it is, right? So now there are questions coming up. For example, so which are the days? 2 days, Saturday and Sunday off. Monday to Friday is where the sessions will be held. Okay, all right, okay, okay, all right. So okay, so let me move on. So evaluation, I've already told you how it will get evaluated. Your attendance automatically it will be marked from the because GoToWebinar itself will give you the attendance data from the backend. We'll be able to take it, and you need to participate in all the quizzes. Quizzes will carry a weightage, but more than all, your project output will have the most number of weightage. Okay, you need to submit the project. Otherwise, what's the point, right? That's the only goal for us. What is as far as WSA team is concerned? What is the only goal? To make you work on a project on your own. Not by copy pasting, not by doing any gimmicks, right? Okay, you can refer to as many things that you want, okay, but don't do copy paste. So one of the bad habits that you guys have picked up during the pandemic is about copy paste. Any exams you give, you will clear with 90% marks. Do you agree with me, students? One of the bad habits you picked up in the pandemic is copy paste, right? So don't do it. Do it for yourself. Okay. You can go refer any material. Our mentors are also giving you a lot of materials. Refer that, no problem. But don't copy paste. Apne liye karo na, dil se karo. You do it from your heart. Okay. So that will be the thing. Okay. And then as I mentioned, Disha workshop will be conducting 2 or 3 sessions. I will conduct towards the end. How to build careers for the new age product companies. How to create a impressive resume and also online portfolio. But please note, this will not be useful if you have nothing built. Portfolio okay, but what do you put there, right? Okay, so that's what is the most important thing. So you will basically, so Aryan Pachigar, can you please stop flooding here? Okay, okay. Sab kuch mil jayega. Every information will reach. So some of you typing 25 times the same question. Okay, Ajay Johnny, okay, please hold. Okay. Same thing, you're copy pasting. Your messages are reaching me, right? I'm trying to reach me as much as possible, but jawab nahi mil raha bolke bar bar 50 bar copy mat karo, right? Wait, I'll come to that. Okay, I'll try to answer as many. We still have some more time. Okay, don't worry, I'm almost done. Okay, so some of the FAQs you guys have already asked me. There was a good number of questions, right? First question is, will you give placements for this internship program? No. Okay. The goal of the internship is to make you people learn, right? If you want placements, you need to come and join our placement oriented long-term program, which is be a paid program. Okay, please note that is different. This is difference. Okay, we don't come back and say, sir, please give me placements. We will not give placements for internship. We have to make you learn. Then you go and figure it out on your own. Okay, and make you learn in the latest MERN stack. That is our goal here, right? Okay. So what other resources will be provided, right? We'll be giving you access to the LMS where you will get the recorded sessions, everything, materials, everything which I already mentioned. We also will be creating Google groups and we'll be adding all of you into that. And there is also a Telegram channel. I'll show you the QR code shortly. You can just scan it and then you can join that particular Telegram group. And I think already yesterday good number of them joined. But as of now, the Telegram group, we are keeping it common for Emertxe and WSA because doing two to groups becomes quite quite difficult for all of us, right? Okay, so one second. Yeah. Okay, so Telegram group link I'll share shortly. Okay, that we'll do that. Okay. So will I get certificate just because I'm selected? No, you need to submit the project. I told multiple times, right? Can I submit the internship to my college? Yes, you can, right? Okay, no problem. You can use it as your internship project when you submit. And in case your professor come and ask us, did this really they work on under your guidance, etc., we'll say yes, provided you work on it. Okay, copy paste karke mata, we'll not say, right? So we are very particular about that. Okay, so some more questions are there, like what are the I'm having clash with my college timing. Can I attend in some other time? No. Okay, if you want, you need to watch the recorded session, which I said 90% is of no use. Live is a real thing, right? Okay, recorded session, you will get it. Will I get an internship offer letter? Yes, right? Will I get internship completion certificate? Yes, provided you submit the project, right? Pratik is asking, can I share offer letter on LinkedIn? Go ahead, man, go ahead. And you will also get some badges. Our team is getting you guys ready with some badges, right? I'm a WSA full stack web developer intern, right? If you want to go and swag it in your social media, go and do it, no problem. Okay, let us spread. It's all good only, no? Okay, हम लोग अच्छा ही तो काम कर रहे हैं, right? So go ahead and spread as much as possible to everybody, no issues. Okay, all right. So okay, so this is a very important slide. Okay, I think it's coming up. Still a little slow for you guys. Let it come up. Yeah, so these are all the ways you can reach out to us in the LMS. As I said, you can put the forums there, and I already given a QR code for the Telegram. Can you please all of you join the Telegram? I'm seeing a lot of you joining here. I'm seeing the numbers going up. I'm seeing my phone here. You can see. Okay. No Telegram. I don't know what to do, man. Okay. Wow, number is going up significantly. Okay, great. Somebody already joined, says Rachana, no problem. Says Anushka, no problem. If you already joined, that's fine. But if you're not, you can join. I'm seeing good chunk of you joining. Okay. As of now, we are keeping both Emertxe and WSA in the same thing. Okay, maybe later we'll see because two maintaining also becoming hard for us, right? We'll also be adding you into the Google group shortly. Where we'll try and send out more information about again our free webinars. When the next internship will come in? Maybe you completed internship, but you want your juniors to help, right? Friends to take up, right? So next announcements and all will be sending you via that particular Google group. Okay. So WhatsApp group, guys, we will not be able to support because already we have so many number of student WhatsApp groups. But if you guys want to do a WhatsApp, okay, we see, please note, we will not be able to share your numbers to each other, because we respect your privacy. But what you can do is in the LMS, generally what I've seen people doing is in the LMS, somebody will create a thread saying that please put your number. So everybody will put it. You guys want to create a WhatsApp group on your own, you can do it. But officially, we will not be able to support WhatsApp group because it becomes too much for us. That's why we are stopping with the Telegram. Okay, but we'll be able to. We'll not be able to support. If you guys want, share your numbers with each other. It's your wish. I will not share your numbers with anybody. Don't worry about that. I mean, it's like WSA team, right? We'll not be able to. We'll not be sharing. We don't want to share. We respect your privacy. Okay. Okay. That's the whole idea. Okay. I see a good number of you joining. Maybe I'll give another minute, or you can even take a screenshot. If you don't have a Telegram ID, please do create. Okay, great. Okay, so so far I think majority of the information is being shared. I think attendance question automatically taken in the backend. Don't worry, the GoToWebinar tool, right? It will show me a report end of the day, which time you logged in, which time you logged out, where you awake in the throughout the session or not. Every data will throw. From there we will be taking the attendance, right? Okay, no issues. Okay, I would like to pause here. Like, okay, maybe another 1 or 2 questions I'll take. If the project is individual, can do it in groups. Ask Vishal, you can do it in groups. Okay, we support that. You can form your own groups, no problem. Okay. So then from when the classes will start, sir? Today we are starting, right, Uma Devi? This is not a class, right? Today we are starting. Tomorrow there'll be technical orientation. Mubin will be, taking you through the session. So that's the next slide I wanted to put up, right? What next? So tomorrow, 18th of August. So my colleague Mubin, right? Mubin, whom I showed the technology head, he will come and start with the SDLC, right? And probably from Monday, our mentors will take over, start with the coding part, our hands-on part. Okay. Can we add this internship in resume? Asked Shruti. Yes, of course. That's why we are doing now. Right? You please go ahead and broadcast. Put it in Facebook. Sorry, put it in Insta. Put it in LinkedIn. Do a project. Put it in your resume. That's why we are doing. What is this for? Right? Okay. All right. So then there's a question from Rajesh. So in 4 weeks internship, can you able to learn all this technology? Okay. Not all, as I already said. Our focus will be largely on front end and React. And we'll teach you how to integrate with the basically a backend. Okay, the ready-made API will be given, and the deployment will be teaching you. Okay, weekly reports are only quiz. Quiz will be fine, Sandhya. Okay, attendance and quiz you can keep on doing, and finally you will be able to submit the project. Okay, project is same for all. Ask Ahmed. Yes, you'll be implementing the same project. Okay, okay. Basically, okay, all things, do all the projects submit? Okay, so okay, some more questions are there. Let me take a couple of them at least. Okay. Can you please ask? Oh my God, some questions. It's running too fast, guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying to stop it. It's like okay. Can I submit the whole internship in mobile? I don't have the laptop. No, you need to code now. How do you code in a laptop? Sorry, phone, right? You must arrange a laptop or desktop, from your friends or whomever, right? Okay. Is there any prizes for quiz winners? Yes, that's what I mean by goodies, right? We'll be, once you winner, the winner will be announcing in the social media, right? I think our social media links also I'll share. I think, these are our social media links. WebStack Academy IT is the link. Okay. Please, follow us. Not many followers, we are just building up. Even the posts also, we just started putting few of them. Going forward, we'll be putting more into the into the Instagram and LinkedIn also. Okay. So will this internship will be applicable to VTU? It's applicable everywhere, no issues. Okay. Can we do it project in a group? I think I already answered. How will you submit the project? You need to put it in the LMS. You need to upload your video into LMS along with the source code. That is how you will be able to do that. Okay. 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 Can I please ask you, how should he call you? Like, what is sir, doctor, Mr. Muhammad is asking. Anyway, you can call me. Majority of them call me sir, or some of you call me Jay Kumar. Anything is fine. Okay. No formalities. We are here to learn, right? By the way, we also learn. It's not that only students are learning. Mentors learn, right? And I mean, at my level, right? I try to learn, right? See, I don't want my student inside me to die, right? So no formalities as such, right? I don't have any knowledge. Will I be able to do? Absolutely fine. As I already mentioned, right? You should be in a position to learn from zero. Okay. I hope today's class itself should have given you some sense, right? I started from the scratch slowly, almost for 2 hours, right? I'm trying to pack it in a very slow pace. Only I'm trying to grow. Okay. Okay. When are you going to access LMS? Shortly. You already have an LMS. You already taken the test. Only thing is they'll be giving a specific link. If you click it, the materials will come up. That's all. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so I will need to pause here. Can I ask you one more thing, right? I want all of you to do quick help we need, because we also want to spread this message across. Can you just do me one favor? Can you just go and rate us in Google? Okay, if you just go and type WebStack Academy, WebStack Academy, just go, right, it'll show up. Okay, can you just go ahead and rate us, some of you? it will be good for us. Can you just rate and quickly reply back quickly? Can you just rate us and reply back? I'll wait for a minute or two. Done, says Krishna. Done, says Mekla. Rated, says Pooja. Mekla. Great. Okay, great. Thanks for your rating, guys. Okay, maybe towards the end we'll again come back. You guys can write in detail also. That will also be helpful to spread a message across, right? These things, help to spread the message among the student community, etc. Okay, great. Many messages are coming. Pujari, Nagra, Jeta. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. Now maybe I think we're almost kind of going towards the end now. Another 5 minutes I have. We want to close at least by 9 p.m. At least let me put this into the slide now. Okay, let me take at least some questions. If you still have questions, you can reach out to us. I already showed you how you can reach out to us. Let me at least answer some of the questions here. Will this internship be applicable to final year internship for VTU? I don't know. How much ever you want to use it, right? Whether it's a third year, final year, however you want to use it is up to you. Okay. Then Shreya is telling, so I didn't receive any offer letter. My friend helped me to join today's session. Can you please reach out to the support team, right? So please write to us, univ_manager@webstackacademy.com. The mail ID is there in the screen. They will check and revert. Okay. How to do project in group, says Aman. You can form the groups among yourselves, either using, I'm already seeing many of you created WhatsApp group here, right? A lot of messages coming in private, right? You can go and join there. From a Telegram, you're going there. You can discuss, form your own groups and do it, no problem. Okay. I don't find a message box. Asks, your already message is reaching me, no issues, right? Okay. Without offer letter or return test, can anyone do this internship? No. We want to have some type of a sanity to be in this process. In some way, right? Please note, guys. Somebody will share this webinar link. Somebody without clearing the test will do the internship and things like that. Towards the evaluation time, you will be caught. Okay. Every data of yours is with us, right? I already told you we don't misuse it, but we'll use it wherever we want to. Okay. If somebody try to bypass and do it, we will we'll not allow such things. Okay. Okay, I did mail to Uni Manager. Okay, you mail it. Our team will, especially beginning of the webinar. Sorry, it is a lot of mails. Our team will do respond. Allow us some time. Okay, they will check and respond. Okay, okay, fine. Then, according to AICT internship timings is 400 to 600 hours. Will this internship be accepted? Yes, it should, because the 400 to 600 hours, even if you look at and the amount of work that you need to do after this, right? Let us say, even let us say you consider, let us say it's okay, 40 hour of 40 days, 45 days into 2 hours, 90 to 100 hours you'll be doing in a daily sessions itself. Then you need to work on the project and everything, right? So definitely it should be able to fit into your AICT umbrella, but it's up to you. As I said, we are not here to associate with an AICT or some college will give a stamp or not, right? See, guys, you know better than me, right? Okay. Enough of these days where we do something just for the sake of AICT, just for the sake of getting grades, right? If anybody interested in doing that, you go pay 3,000 rupees, right? Get a project, give it to a professor. He or she will be happy to do that, right? Our goal is not, right? If you wanted to use it like that, you would use it. I don't have any problem. But our idea is to make you build a project, really make you hands-on, full stack developer, give a kickoff, what does it take to build a web application and build an online portfolio, right? Let us focus on the learning. Rest all will come to you automatically. That's what I would say. Okay. Okay. Sai Tejas asking, if possible, please try to send via Google Meet. No, it's not. Google Meet doesn't allow so many people. Plus, recording won't work. So many analytics, attendance, and all will not be able to do via Google Meet. So we wanted to do it via the GoToWebinar only. Okay. And then, sir, you cannot focus on the backend. May not be. We'll give an overview of backend, how to integrate that front end. Okay, but if you go on backend, right, 1 month is not enough, right? You need to come to a full-blown program, right? Okay, so we will try to give an overview how to integrate the full stack view that you will get. Node and Express, you will get an idea, but you will not be able to implement a full-fledged backend. That again is a very complex area. We'll try to give you some perspective with which you will be able to further build on your own. Okay, great. Okay, fine. Only one project submitted from group. Yes. Okay, individual or you are doing it as a group. All of you will be submitting via the same this thing, right? Okay. Pranati is asking something like, he's also from NATW, sir. Somebody is telling. Okay. Okay, sorry. I think that's okay. Anyway, I think somebody is selling NATW. No problem, right? Yeah, I'm a pretty passed out in the year 2001, like 22 years back. I passed out. I don't know anybody from NATW in this internship. See, generally those kiddos these days, NATW, my juniors or juniors, right? They learn on their own, right? They don't need an internship. They go learn, and they're pretty much self-learning culture is there in NATs and IITs today. Okay. But when we come to tier 2, the self-learning culture is not there. That's where we come in, right? We push you guys, give you the mentorship, so at later point in time you move to the self-learning culture. Ideally, all of it should be doing self-learning, but unfortunately, our education system is not promoting. Our education system is promoting rote-based. We buy hard things, right? That's the whole idea. Okay. All right, guys. I think pretty much what I wanted to cover. I think it's already 9 p.m. past, right? I know I could not answer all the questions, right? I try to answer as many as I can, but still you have these channels. That's why you still keep this slide open, whether via the Telegram or via the email, right? We will, be able to answer. Don't expect immediate response, because tomorrow we open mailbox, there'll be some 900 emails, right? Our team takes time, but be rest assured that they will respond to you. Okay, our team is very responsible. They will respond to your queries, but don't allow us. One day you don't get response, and some people like how you're putting here, right? 25 times you copy paste. Don't send the same email 25 times, right? We will respond to you. Okay. All right. I think time is over. Thank you very much for joining today's session. I sincerely hope this session has given you an overview about WSA and overall as the web development, and where the full stack web development is heading. Now, how you can build a career. I just given a brief of it, but everything we will be able to subsequently, build, as you guys move forward in this particular internship. First of all, congratulations to all of you, because we had a lot of applications we got. I think only 10% of them we could select, right? We received, I don't know, maybe some 20,000 applications. I don't know, right? Maybe probably 5 to 10% of them made it. That itself is a great achievement, right? So please utilize it. And on behalf of Team WSA, I want to welcome all of you to this internship program. Have a great learning. I'll be in the back end along with Mubin. We'll be watching over how the program is going. And then I'll come and meet you guys towards the end, towards the Disha workshop I'll be conducting. And I will meet you. Till then, take care. I want to pause here and get your feedback. How was your session today? Okay, detailed explanation, looking forward. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Amazing session, awesome. I'm not able to read the names. Again, it's running very fast, 5 out of 5. Thank you so much, sir. Excellent, sir. Very nice session. It was amazing, great session. End the meetings at time over. Sushant, wait, man, I'll end, man. Thoda 5 minutes de do na bachchon ko. Kyun maar rahe ho? Well explained, sir. Amazing, sir. Looking forward. Very informative. I think it's running quite fast. Fantastic, interactive, great. It's a boom webinar. Okay, I don't know. Okay, boom, right? Thank you so much. Great, 5 out of 5. Amazing. Looking forward for the next session. Cool, killer internship. Okay, so thank you very much for your kind words, guys. Okay, have a great learning. Enjoy your learning. That's my point to all of you. Don't bother too much about it. Enjoy your learning. Build an amazing project, amazing portfolio. Right? I'll come and see you after a month's time. In the meantime, Mubin will same time tomorrow log in, and then tomorrow Mubin will take over. Then subsequently mentors will take over again and come back and see you towards the end. Okay. Have a good dinner. Good night to all of you. See you later. Bye.